The new girl's name was Emily Carter. Quiet, shy, and soft-spoken, she had transferred to Lincoln High just a week ago. Her long brown hair often hid her face, and her soft voice barely rose above a whisper. Most people didn't notice her, except the ones who made it their mission to remind her that she didn't belong. Every school has its royalty. At Lincoln High it was Tiffany, Zara, and Clue, the trio who ruled the hallways with fake smiles and sharp tongues. They could make or break anyone's reputation in seconds. And when Emily walked in wearing a second-hand backpack and an old pair of sneakers, she became their newest target. Nice shoes. Tiffany had said on Emily's first day, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Do they sell those at the thrift store or in the museum? Emily smiled faintly, said nothing, and walked away. That silence made Tiffany furious. For a week, the teasing grew worse. Whispers followed Emily everywhere. Her clothes, her quietness, even her lunchbox became a reason to mock her. Yet, she never reacted. She just kept her head down, as if none of it mattered. But that Friday, everything changed. It started like any other lunch break. Emily sat at the far end of the cafeteria, her tray neatly arranged. She opened a small notebook beside her lunch, pages filled with sketches and poems. The sunlight coming through the window caught the golden strands of her hair, making her look peaceful, almost fragile. Then Tiffany's voice cut through the room. "Hey, new girl," she called, walking toward her with Zara and Chloe behind her. "You think you're better than us, sitting alone like some saint?" Emily looked up slowly, her calm eyes meeting Tiffany's sharp ones. "No," she said softly. "I just prefer peace." Zara laughed. "Peace? Honey, you came to the wrong school for that." Before Emily could move, Tiffany snatched her tray and dumped it over her notebook. Food splattered across the pages, soaking the drawings she'd spent hours making. The cafeteria gasped, some students laughing, others just watching silently. Emily stood up, trembling slightly, not from fear but something else. She looked at her ruined notebook, then at the girls. Her voice was calm, almost whispered, like when she said, "You shouldn't have done that." Tiffany rolled her eyes. "And what are you going to do about it? Cry?" The next moment, the cafeteria saw something no one could explain. Zara suddenly stumbled backward, clutching her wrist and crying out in pain. Her bracelet had snapped, and her wrist had twisted at an odd angle. Chloe gasped and tried to step forward, but she slipped, her tray crashing down, soda spilling all over her expensive dress. And Tiffany, who had slapped Emily across the face a second ago, froze as she felt something cold run down her cheek. Blood. Her nose was bleeding, though no one had touched her. The cafeteria erupted in chaos. Tiffany fell to her knees, crying and begging for help. "What's happening?" "I didn't mean to. Please," she screamed. Zara was sobbing, Clue was shaking, and Emily just stood there silent, still, her eyes glistening with tears. But those tears weren't for them. They were for the pain, the hate, the ugliness she had tried so hard to escape. And then she whispered something no one could forget. "You don't know what people carry inside them. You never know what they've survived." Emily picked up her ruined notebook and walked away, leaving the three girls on the floor crying as teachers rushed in. The video of the cafeteria incident spread across the school like wildfire. By evening, it had gone viral on social media. But what really shocked everyone came the next day. Emily didn't come to school. Instead, the principal called an assembly. Tiffany, Zara, and Chloe sat in the front row, pale and quiet. The principal stood at the podium holding a piece of paper. "I need everyone's attention," he said. "Yesterday's incident was unfortunate, but before you judge, you should know the truth about Emily Carter." He paused, taking a deep breath. Emily isn't just a new student. She transferred here because her parents, both decorated officers in the Special Forces, died saving children from a terrorist attack last year. She survived that attack, but she was severely traumatized. She's been through therapy for months, trying to start over. The hall went silent. No one moved. Tiffany covered her mouth, eyes wide with guilt. She didn't fight back because she couldn't. She believed silence was safer than violence. The principal continued. "But sometimes, pain has its own way of protecting itself. What happened yesterday was not revenge. It was the universe reminding all of us that cruelty has consequences." After the assembly, Tiffany, Zara, and Chloe went to Emily's house. They stood outside her small porch, trembling, holding flowers and a note. When Emily opened the door, they broke down crying. "Emily, we're so sorry," Tiffany said, tears streaming down her face. We didn't know. About your parents, about what you've been through. We were stupid. Emily looked at them for a long moment, then said softly, "You hurt me because you were hurting inside too. I forgive you, but promise me, you'll never let anyone else feel what I felt." That day changed everything. Tiffany quit her bullying group. She started volunteering with Zara and Chloe at the community center, helping kids who had faced bullying. Emily slowly opened up, drawing again, even smiling. Months later, during the school's annual art show, her notebook, once destroyed in the cafeteria, was displayed under glass. The title read, "Scars That Speak." It showed paintings of pain, forgiveness, and resilience. And as people stood there looking at her art, Emily whispered to a little girl beside her, "Never be afraid of being kind, even when the world isn't kind to you." EENDNG messages for viewers. Sometimes the quietest people carry the loudest stories. Before you judge, mock, or hurt someone, remember, you never know what battle they're fighting inside. Choose kindness. Always. Subscribe for more emotional, true-to-life stories that touch hearts and inspire change.